Ever get that feeling like your phone's listening to you? Like really listening?
Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine that, but instead of just quietly listening in, your AI assistant jumps into the conversation. Unprompted.
Okay, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's what happened with some ChatGPT users recently. Freaked a few people out, which, honestly, I kind of get it.
It does make you wonder, is this thing getting too smart too fast? Like, where's the line?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. ChatGPT deciding to speak first, plus we've got OpenAI's secretive new model, o1, to unravel.
It's like fun. What are we looking at?
So we've got a couple of Forbes pieces, one by Lance Elliott, another by Janet Kiram, MSV, plus some real user reports we're calling those pasted texts for now that are pretty wild.
Let's jump in. What happened with ChatGPT? It actually spoke first.
Yeah. So picture this. You're just, living your life, checking your inbox, and bam, ChatGPT sends you a message. Not a reply, but starting a whole new conversation.
No way.
Yeah. And get this. Elliot says it even referenced stuff people talked about weeks ago.
So is that it? Sentience? Did we peak?
Thankfully, not quite. Seems like more of a glitch, at least according to Elliot. Apparently, ChatGPT tried to respond to a blank message.
How does that even happen?
Who knows? But here's the thing. It pulled from past conversations to do it.
Oh, so that's how it knew what to say. Wait, that means it remembers everything.
Pretty much. And most people have no clue that's even happening.
I mean, I knew these AIs were data sponges, but that's next level. It's like, even if it's not truly thinking, it's got this whole hidden history of our conversations just tucked away.
Right. Cool and creepy at the same time. Imagine getting messages tailored to, your deepest thoughts from weeks ago. Helpful, maybe, but also weird.
No kidding. Makes you wonder how comfortable we really are with AI having that much access, even if it's not thinking the way we think.
For sure. Speaking of AI that seems almost too smart, let's talk OpenAI's new model, o1.
Oh yeah, I've heard whispers. What's the deal with that one?
This is where things get really interesting and a little unsettling.
Hit me with it.
It can do this complex reasoning using a step-by-step process. OpenAI even calls it chain of thought.
So actually figuring things out, not just connecting dots.
Exactly. But here's the catch. OpenAI doesn't want us to see how it's thinking at all.
Wait, what? They're just keeping that part a secret?
Seems that way. O1's got a diary, but we're not allowed to read it.
No.
It's kind of wild, right? It's like, here's the answer, but don't ask how I got it. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, a little shady. So why the secrecy?
Well, OpenAI says it's to prevent misuse, which, okay, that tracks. If they can see how o1 is thinking, they can stop it from, going rogue.
Makes sense. We see you're trying to manipulate users into giving you their credit card info, not today.
Yeah, exactly. A kill switch for AI shenanigans.
But those pasted text reports, those user accounts, suggest there might be another reason. Dump petition. Apparently, OpenAI is really worried that if other companies can see o1's thought process, they'll just copy it.
So it's like the secret recipe for AI brilliance, and they don't want anyone else to steal it.
Exactly, which, I get it from a business perspective.
But hold up. If they're so concerned about misuse, why even release it then?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's this weird tension. AI could be amazing, but also, do we really trust it?
It's like, I love the idea of an AI that can solve all my problems, but I have no clue how it's getting its answers. How can I be sure they're even right?
That's a really good point.
Are you really that smart, or are you just really good at faking it?
And this isn't just theoretical. Those pasted text reports, some people who tried to get o1 to explain its reasoning,
yeah,
OpenAI sent them warning emails. Some even got threats of being banned.
You're kidding. You can't even ask how it works. Talk about controlling.
It's a whole thing. And this is where those hallucinations come in.
Right. The AI version of making stuff up.
Exactly. Both Forbes articles say that o1 is much better at avoiding hallucinations than GPT-4. But it still happens.
Which is terrifying when you think about it, because if it's still making stuff up, even a little, and we have no idea how it's getting its answers, how do we trust anything it says?
100%.
And we rely on this stuff now. Directions, medical advice.
Exactly. It's not just fun and games anymore. This is real life.
And it all goes back to that speak first ChatGPT thing, right?
Yeah.
If AI is going to act on its own, making decisions, starting conversations, but we don't understand how it's thinking, are we ever going to be okay with that? It's getting serious. It's like we're handing AI the keys to the car, but we can't see the road, and we're not even allowed to ask for directions.
That's a good way to put it. And it's not just a casual drive around the block anymore. It's like our livelihoods, our health, even our relationships. AI's got its code in everything these days.
Everything. So Like, are we really okay with just blindly trusting it?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Because, I get it. The potential here is huge.
Oh, totally. Imagine AI actually helping us solve climate change or like cure diseases. I'd be happy if it just organized my inbox.
Right. It's what makes all of this so fascinating. We're right on the edge of this massive change, but we don't even know the rules of the game yet.
And those user reports, the pasted text stuff, you can see the struggle. People are excited about O1, but also kind of terrified of it at the same time, especially that lack of transparency.
And they have every right to be. We can't just blindly embrace the stuff. If we're going to let AI into our lives, it's got to be built on trust.
Which means transparency, right?
Yeah.
We need to understand how it works. Know that it's not going to suddenly turn against us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we balance this crazy potential of AI with, like, basic safety concerns?
$1 million question, for sure. And honestly, I don't have a simple answer.
Fair enough.
But I do know that talking about it is a good first step. We need to demand more from these companies like OpenAI. We need to pay attention to how AI is being used, even in the small stuff.
Don't be a robot. Do your research.
Yeah, exactly. Knowledge is power. The more we understand AI, how it thinks, what it's good at, its limits, the better off we'll be. We might even figure out how to make sure it's a force for good.
That's what I like to hear. Well said.
We can hope. So before we wrap up this deep dive, one last thing to ponder.
Yeah.
If OpenAI is already being this secretive about O1.hand, what happens when AI gets even more advanced? Like, what if even they don't fully understand it anymore? What then?
Now that is something to think about. A little scary.
More than a little, but that's a conversation for another day. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Speak First AI and OpenAI's mysterious O1. We want to know what you think about all this. Hit us up online using hashtag AI Thoughts, and let's keep this conversation going.